And Taipei, every time there was a typhoon, Taipei would flood so much that all of the first-story buildings, the restaurants, everything would have to close. And then we'd be wandering in the streets looking for food, and then people would come out of their apartments with things for us.
Wow.
They would see us wandering in the streets, because the foreigners didn't know how to. We didn't have a kitchen. We were living in a hostel.
Oh.
So there was no way to prepare food, and so we would have to eat out most of the time. And then people were so kind. They would come and they're like, "You're hungry? Hungry?" And they would come, wait, and they would bring us food. It was so
so nice.
sweet. Yeah, so many touching things.
Hello everyone, Amadeus here, and today with another video. It's been exactly 9 years since I arrived to Taiwan today. Thank you, Dosha, 谢谢, Gansha, arigato. 9 years, it's a long time. Well, for my 9 years anniversary here, I prepared you 9 stories from 9 different people about living in Taiwan. And after watching those stories, you tell me how it really is. So let's get started.
And Taipei, every time there was a typhoon, Taipei would flood so much that all of the first-story buildings, the restaurants, everything would have to close. And then we'd be wandering in the streets looking for food, and then people would come out of their apartments with things for us.
Wow.
They would see us wandering in the streets, because the foreigners didn't know how to. We didn't have a kitchen. We were living in a hostel.
Oh.
So there was no way to prepare food, and so we would have to eat out most of the time. And then people were so kind. They would come and they're like, "You're hungry? Hungry?" And they would come, wait, and they would bring us food. It was so
so nice.
sweet. Yeah, so many touching things.
Is that when I came to Taiwan, I loved milk tea. I've never had milk tea before, and I just found it like fascinating. I came to Taiwan, and someone said like, "Oh, they have this like zhenzhu naicha," and a friend of mine just told me like zhenzhu naicha, and then you get this amazing drink. And this was before I actually learned it. I didn't see the characters. I didn't know anything. I just knew that if I make that sound, zhenzhu naicha, then I will get this amazing
The drink you like.
But there was one problem. There was like some weird like bubbles in this zhenzhu naicha, which if you understand the Chinese part, it makes total sense.
Yeah,
but if you're a new arrived foreigner who just knows zhenzhu naicha, then you have no idea why they put like bubbles in it. So for like 6 months, when I started to like improve my Chinese, and I had like the courage to actually go and order for myself, I was like zhenzhu naicha, and then they always ask you the same questions, They're like,
You want sugar or tea?
Exactly,
You want ice?
So then like, so you're practicing the responses back. So you know that the next answer is going to be like, 无糖, 少冰, 谢谢, 袋子. So like, you learn the answers in that order because like 99% of the time, they ask you in that order. So I went up and like, 珍珠奶茶, 微糖, 少冰, 袋子, 谢谢. And I did it for like 6 months. And then my Chinese teacher, but the problem was that I didn't like the bubbles, right?
Okay.
So I would drink the milk tea, and then when there was only bubbles left, I would throw it out. For some reason, I talked about this in class. And then my teacher was like, Lucas, 大笨蛋. If you don't like the bubbles, 你不用整除. What's that word? So you can actually tell them, 我不要整除.
Yeah.
That was the instructions I got from my teacher. So the next day, I go up to the same store and I say, 一杯珍珠奶茶不用珍珠，谢谢. Just for another 6 months, goes in order, 一杯珍珠奶茶不用珍珠，谢谢. And the problem with Taiwanese people is that they're so polite.
Yeah, then they wanna
So like even with this sentence, they're like, "Oh, 你的中文好标准哦，哇，你的中文好厉害." But obviously, there wasn't like logic.
So
issue
nobody
here.
fixed you.
Nobody
Who
fixed me.
that?
So nobody fixed me for like another 6 months until my Chinese improved a little bit and I recognized more characters. And I saw on a sign that they had 黑糖珍珠奶茶. So I was like, wow, they have like 黑糖珍珠奶茶.
Yeah.
Okay, I go into the store and they're like, 我要一杯黑糖珍珠奶茶不用珍珠，谢谢. And this clerk, he was like, 什么意思? But my Chinese was still like not good enough to have a proper conversation. So I was like, 微糖, 少冰. He's like, 等一下，什么意思? 袋子. And I was like, and this guy was like, what are you talking about, man? After going back and forth forever, he was like, how? Okay, he just got tired of the whole conversation. He just gave me a glass of milk. and then I saw the milk, and that's when it's like, okay.
You did the math.
Now I understand what happened.
Thailand, one of the big things they do there is, especially with foreigners, that when you get a taxi, they try to overcharge you the money. So the first time I arrived in Taiwan, the taxi driver was taking us to our new apartment where we were staying, and I fully expected him, because he was going everywhere. I was convinced he was going in the wrong direction, and I thought, he's going to charge me a lot of money for this.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the meter, and I gave him the money, and he gave me money back and said, sorry, I took you the wrong way. And I thought, I've arrived in a safe, nice, honest country.